Welcome to the Life on Your Terms podcast with me, your host, Tracy Liv Howard. My intention is that each episode helps you remember who you are and serves to inspire and support you to reach your most important goals and live life on your terms. Let's get into today's episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about what a Mapmaker is and why it's so freaking powerful in helping people to achieve their goals, their dreams, and to live their truth. Now, I believe that a Mapmaker is something that we all are. Every day we wake up and the day is a blank canvas. You know, we come into the day and we start to fill in what that kind of map or order of the day is going to look like. And when we come into the world as babies and as young children, we're given a map. We're given a map of how the day's going to go. You know, of course, because we're helpless. But eventually, as we get older, we're given this kind of larger societal map of how things are meant to go for us, right? We're told we have to go to elementary school, then we go to middle school, then we go to high school, if you're American. And in there, you maybe play sports or you're going to play music. You might be given options, but largely they're kind of confined into your youth. And then some people are given a map that once they finish high school, they go to college. That's what the map says to do next. And then after college graduation, the map says get a job. And then when you get a job, you see where I'm going. It says climb the career ladder. That's your map. You just climb the ladder. Or if you don't like where you are, the map says option B is to go work for a different company. And the map is filled out. And for many people living within that map, we can stay in the lines. You know, there's a lot of conditioning here, illusions and stories that we tell ourselves that, wow, this map is true. This map is how the world works. This map is either maybe safe or this map works for me. We can accept that map and we do it. Now, I am extremely not guilty, but I played along with the map that my parents, my teachers, society told me right up until, well, I had moments where I didn't follow maps, but right up until I was 29, I got my grades in school. I got my bachelor's. I got a job in Washington, D.C. as an administrative assistant. I kept looking, trying to progress my career within companies. I got my master's degree. I was literally doing all the things I was supposed to be doing, and I am an entrepreneur. So I largely was dissatisfied, unfulfilled. I felt contained and stifled that this was going to be my life. And I thought, why don't I want this? I'm supposed to want this. I just didn't want it. And so I remember I was working for this job I didn't like. But on the weekends, I would go and read and go and write, which is something I love to do. And I would go ride my bike around Washington, D.C. Everyone thought I was nuts, but I would ride rain or shine. I did not take the metro. And I was just doing a lot of things that were kind of for me. Well, I think it's important because all of us are map makers. Again, we can decide what our day is going to look like and fill it in. But what's very important for the map maker that I'm talking about today is that the map maker goes deeper and deeper into letting go all of the illusions, conditioning, and stories from society of how we're supposed to live our life. And the map maker questions everything and says, I have this goal, I have this dream, and that is so important to me. I'm going to go for it. Screw what everyone else thinks. I have no idea how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to start to basically look at my life as if it's a blank map, a blank canvas, and I'm going to fill in the steps. I'm going to fill in the process of how this is going to work. And so a map maker to me has this figure it out energy. A map maker sometimes we don't have any idea what the next steps are. But we say, I'm going to figure it out. Let me try stuff. And that's why, I'll be honest, I get so kind of repulsed or turned away from these like 5 steps to success models. You've all seen them out there, or 10 tips to hit, $1 million in your first year. And there are these watered down, quote, maps on like how someone else created success, and that we're then supposed to take that exact map, which is impossible. It's impossible to do exactly what someone else did, because I believe success is more about our interior life, who we are creates success, not the steps. So I get repulsed by those things because I'm obsessed with who you are. I'm obsessed with the Mapmaker inside of you, your personality, what you value, what you like, and that I want you to follow those steps, those unique steps to creating your life on your terms and what you're wanting. And so all of the people I've coached that have been super successful are like purebred map makers. Many of them do not care if they're being taboo or, doing something against what society says to do, or, confusing the crap out of their team because they're just saying they're going to take actions that don't have any logical or linear, things attached to them. Map makers often are very much in that energy world, which I'm talking about. Well, becoming a map maker kind of has two parts to it that is very important to know. One, becoming a true map maker will give you an awakening. So if you're ready for a spiritual awakening, become a map maker. Because in order to take our life and stop following the process and plan of other people and start to live it for ourselves, we have to awaken to the idea and the notion that we are the creators of our life, that we must awaken to the notion that we create the map. We're the ones in power, in charge, of course, with fate and the universe. But we have to awaken to this realization that absolutely no one has any idea how we should live our life. It's our responsibility. And we kind of take all that power back. That could cause a huge awakening because you might not want your job anymore. You might, be tired of waiting for the doctors to tell you how to heal an illness, give you just the plan, give you the prescription. You've got to, it's a crazy awakening. I've had so many awakenings on my journey as a map maker because I realized, oh my God, I have to figure it out myself. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to reach my goal, and no one else does either. And sometimes people definitely give me clues and advice on the way. Those are beautiful people, of course. However, I need to go deep within myself to figure out what am I going to do to get there. So you will have awakenings, crazy awakenings becoming a map maker. And the second is you probably will have a spiritual crisis on the path to becoming a map maker. And a spiritual crisis basically is that who you used to be, what you used to think, how the world used to work or used to look like almost in the blink of an eye is no longer the case, which causes you to awaken. But what can cause a spiritual crisis or a dark night of the soul is the pain and the challenges and the real hardships that happen in order to move from the illusion to the next phase in your life. And a spiritual crisis could be very hard because it will change so much about your outer world. You might never, ever work in corporate again. You might, sell your house and sell all your stuff, go live on a tiny island and write a book. If that's really the map for your life, if that's the dream, it is going to say, wow, I'm going to have to dismantle and make so many choices and deal with so many consequences in order to be the map maker of my own life. And so it's a good thing. It's a really good thing because this is why you're here, to awaken, to go through a spiritual growth and spiritual journey and live life on your terms. I mean, I'm obsessed with helping people to live their version of truth. And that will require us to be the map maker and to constantly question, do I want this or is this coming from someone else's plan? It's your version of the truth. It's your version of success. And of course, do we really think someone else has a map all laid out for us in order to get where we're going? That fits exactly with our values, our personality, our interests, our likes, and more? No. Hell no. Okay? And so a quote that I love with Winston Churchill, which I will say too much, is this. Winston Churchill said, "Planning is essential, but plans are useless." Planning is essential, but plans are useless. And we have to realize with this beautiful one precious life that we have, that we're the ones that are going to fill it in. What's my intention? What outcomes do I want? How do I get there? How do I want to get there? What could I do? What would feel good? What is true for me? When you're asking these questions, you are becoming a more powerful map maker in your life. And I promise you, your dream life, whatever you imagine in your mind, fill in your own map and you can have it in your hands. With so much love today, from my map maker energy to yours. Take care. A big thank you for listening to this episode. I truly hope you got what you needed. If you want to get more from me each week, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes or bonus content. To be notified of new episodes, workshop opportunities, and more, subscribe to my email list by heading to the link in this episode description. I'm wishing you joy, happiness, and love.